Do you know that there is a pathway with which you can get a job before arriving Canada without LMIA? Do you also know that you can get to Canada with as low as 4 CLB in your language test? Today, I am bringing you a juicy route, and I'm sure from the description of this video, you can already tell what that route is. Yes, it is the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program, RNIP. So from my previous video, where I talked about how you can come into Canada, even if you're 35 and above, or you don't have so large a score, you don't have family connections and all that bits. I spoke about what you can do to like improve your chances of coming to Canada, improve your express entry profile and all that bits. If you have not seen that video, I'm going to be linking it in the corner of the screen and equally in the description. You should go and watch that video. But sequel to that, I just felt a need to do this series where I'm going to be talking specifically about programs that you can use in migrating to Canada that is different from the express entry route. And I'm going to be bringing you the details of the RNIP program in this video. I am sure this is something you want to listen to. So please subscribe to my channel now already. Like and share this video with other people in this journey with you, or friends, families that you know that would need this information. You don't need all the high and mighty jobs. You don't need to start looking for LMIA and all that bits. I am going to be giving you the details of the RNIP in this video. So yet again, please like, share, just give me this video a thumbs up already, because I'm sure it's going to give you value, trust me. And for my returning subscribers, my viewers that have always returned to my video, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. I do not take you for granted. And if this is the first time you are seeing me, thank you for clicking on this video. This is Moments with D. You're welcome to this channel. We talk about immigration tips. We talk about travel, my life as an immigrant in Canada. I am going to be sharing all this with you on this channel. I'm sure you will enjoy all my other videos as well. So when you're done with this, you can go check those ones out. But without further ado, let me get into the crux of this. I am so excited to share this video with you guys. And I am sure you're going to be excited as I am to hear this opportunity and start taking advantage of it. What is RNIP? RNIP stands for Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. And whenever you hear pilot, you know that it just means kind of temporary, like, this is the first iteration. When they test the waters, see how the program is doing, they can decide to go permanent or, make it, or just stop it, generally. So the RNIP basically is a federal program, and it is not for a specific province. So it is a program that is across the whole of Canada, and the program is community driven. Note, it is community driven. I'm going to come back to give you the details of what it means for a program to be community driven. But this particular program, the RNIP, is community driven. Now let's get to the details. What exactly is the RNIP? The Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot is a community-driven program. It is designed to spread the benefits of economic immigration to smaller communities by creating a path to permanent residence for skilled foreign workers who want to work and live in one of the participating communities. That is the IRCC definition for the RNIP. So if you know, one, it is community driven, like I mentioned before. Two, it is pathway to permanent residency. So once you're able to meet the requirements, you churn in all that you need to provide and all that, you are going to be applying straight for permanent residency. There are 11 communities that are participating in this pilot program, and those communities I'm going to be listing shortly. But the province of Ontario has a whooping five communities participating in it. So you don't necessarily like, oh, and I want to come to Ontario, but the points are high, and Ontario doesn't go into the pool to pick a lot of people, or my occupation is not in demand. There are communities now that are looking for you in Ontario. And from what you're seeing on the screen, right? The city or the community is the first one. Then after the comma is the province. So we have North Bay in Ontario. We have Sudbury in Ontario. We have Timmins in Ontario, but these are listed, and there is the MB is for Manitoba, SK is Saskatchewan, and AB is Alberta, and BC is British Columbia. These are the participating communities, and forward to it, or in the other column, you will see the link to the details of this community listed here. I'm going to be dropping this link, of course, in the description box, so you can see it for yourself, to see the details for yourself, and you can click on those links if you want to. So these participating communities are the ones that have shown interest, like, okay, they have labor shortages, and they are the ones that they are the ones that will be recommending candidates for the to the IRCC. So how does this work, right? When you get your job, and you put in, you've gotten your job offer, the community itself. So the job offer must be in this participating community. So it's not like you get a job in Toronto, in Ontario, so for instance now, and then you're now saying, oh, you want to use this route. So the job, for instance, we saw Sudbury, Ontario. So the job that you are going to be getting must be in Sudbury, Ontario, before the community, that Sudbury community itself, will now recommend you for permanent residency to the IRCC. So the community kind of have the final say, not your job. Like some other pathways, for instance, the AIPP, which I'll be talking to in subsequent videos, they are job or company based, so, but this particular one is not, your employer does not have the final say. Fine, your employer has given you a job to say, okay, we need an accountant, we need a welder, we need an industrial painter, we need nursing aides, or whatever the job role is. Your employer has given you a job, and you have that offer, but with that offer, you're then going to now apply to the community. Then the community will do all their necessary checks and everything. We'll be getting to the process shortly in this video, but the community will do everything that they need done, and then they will recommend it to IRCC. We then have like the final say to give you a PR. And another thing you should note here is that although the processing time is like 6 to 12 months, but while you're processing for your permanent residency, you can get a closed work permit to come into Canada and begin your work pending when your permanent residency application is approved. Yes, it's just mind-blowing, right? Like, it's just so sweet. I know. That's why you should actually just begin immediately you're done with this video. So with that, and your partner as well, if you're married, you have a spouse and a company, a common law partner, whoever is accompanying, you can also get an open work permit to work for any employer in that community. So they can work for any employer. If maybe you're in Thunder Bay, that's where you got your work permit, close work permit tied to your own employer. Then your spouse, your wife, your husband can get an open work permit to work in Thunder Bay, pending when your permanent residency application is approved. So this route is just juicy, I tell you. Another thing I want to mention about this route is that you need to be immigration ready. When I get to the eligibility, the requirements and all that, I'm going to be breaking that down, but you need to be immigration ready, have your IELTS, have your credential evaluation, be ready, because now, although the PR process can take 6 months or 6 to 12 months, but once you get your job and you need to put in your application to the communities, it's sharp. And the thing is, credential evaluation or even getting a date for your language test can take a while. depending on, where you are and all that bit. So you don't want to wait till, is when you've not gotten the job and it's not time for you to apply. You're not like, I need to write IELTS, I need to write French, I need to do this, my evaluation is not coming out in time, because these things take time. So you need to get on it like immediately. You need to be immigration ready for this route. And another thing I want to also call out is that this route, as juicy as it is, the number of applicants that they are looking to accommodate is not so large. So these communities have like very few allocations or slots available. So you need to actually get on it fast. For instance, Thunder Bay, which is one of the participating communities, last year, I think November or December or something, once this program opened up, they had like slots for like, I think about 150 thereabouts, and they got over 200 applications. So they are no longer taking application as of today that I'm making this video. So one thing you should notice, the slots are not so much, so you need to get on it fast. And initially, like I mentioned, pilot program is supposed to be something temporary, so it was actually supposed to be closed. It was scheduled to be closed February 2024, but now has been extended to July 31st 2024. They've extended community recommendation up to July 31st 2024, and deadline for candidates to submit permanent residency application is 31st of August. So you see that you don't have the time. So you can't sleep on this route. So long as you've made up your mind that Canada is like your destination, you need to be all out for it. So even though you're applying for these routes as well, it doesn't stop you from creating your Express Entry profile. It shouldn't stop you from, showing expression of interest in some other provinces and all, like I mentioned in that previous video. So you need to actually watch that video to understand exactly what I'm saying. So moving on, let's talk about the requirements for this route, for the RNIP. One, you need a job offer. You need a job offer first from from an employer in one of the participating communities. So you cannot, like I said before, go to, like outside those participating communities, even though it's in the same province, to go get a job and wanting to use the RNIP route. So you need a job offer. For your job to be qualified, you need a minimum of 1 year working experience in the tier or in that job function. So it doesn't have to be like January to December. You just need at least 1,560 hours of work experience in that field in the past 3 years. So let's assume that you're applying for an accountant, but you worked as an accountant 4 years ago, and you stopped working as an accountant, but you've worked as an accountant before 4 years ago. You cannot you cannot apply for an accounting role because your experience is above 3 years. I hope you understand that. And the hours that count, you can count hours in full or part-time work, so long as you are able to count 1,560 hours. It doesn't matter if it's full-time or part-time. And it can be in more than one occupation with different employers. It doesn't have to be like you did the entire 1,560 hours with one employer. You can do it across various employers, and it must be over a 12-month period. Do you get? So even though you are changing employers, it must be over a 12-month period, and it can be outside of Canada. Like I said, this is very open to those whether in or outside of Canada. The roles you are applying for has to be in the same tier with your work experience. So it's not like maybe you are a manager in your previously in the last 3 years you've worked in managerial roles, but you now see the job of maybe a chef or a cleaner or something, and you're not like, because they're sponsoring the RNIP, you want to apply for that role. So it has to be on your tier, like whether it's tier, if you're on tier 0 or tier 1, the job or the work experience has to be in tier 0, tier 1, or tier 2 or 3. So it just has to be like on the same banding, right? Regarding the job offer, aside the years of experience you need, the qualifying years of experience that you need, the job offer must be in the participating community. It must be full time. So it can't be a part-time or a contract role. So the employer must be running the business continuously, of course. It has to be a full-time job job, minimum of 30 hours per week. It has to be a permanent employment. It doesn't have to be seasonal or anything, and the pay must not be less than minimum wage. Well, this is very beneficial because we Canada, you can't afford to be collecting less than minimum wage, of course. So, and the job cannot be from a consulate, it can be from a staffing or employment agency. So it can't be like an agency got you the job. It has to be directly with the employer, and it cannot be a business that your spouse owns, of course, or a close family member. Yeah, so you don't want rigging the system. The business, it can't be strip teasing business as well. So the details as well, like you can see, is on the screen, and like I said, I'm going to be leaving the details in the description box as well, so you can look that up. With regards as well to the work experience that is required, so time of volunteering or internship doesn't count to that work experience. So like the example that we've been using, like an accountant. So if you interned as an accountant, or you volunteered as an accountant, those periods doesn't count. So literally it has to be a paid employment for it to count towards this, and it cannot be self-employment as well, except you're a medical practitioner. So the next requirement is the educational requirement, and it requires high school or post-secondary post-secondary certificate or a degree for this pathway, for the RNIP pathway. And or if you study outside of Canada, then you need your educational credential assessment, that's your ECA, done by a recognized body by the Canadian government, the IRCC, for this. So mostly maybe World Educational Service, I think that's West. By West, or any recognized body. I'll put the definition on the screen, of course, if I got it wrong, but it's World Educational Service. Anyways, so you need your credential evaluated as well for this. That's if you're applying or if you studied outside of Canada. But if not, then you're good to go. Next is the language requirements, and the language requirements for the RNIP is dependent on the tier with which you're applying. That's the tier you have experience in. So if you're on tier 0 or 1, you need a CLB 6 in your language requirements or your language test. If you're on tier 2 and 3, you need CLB 5. If you're on tier 4 and 5, you need CLB 4. So with as low as CLB 4 in your language test, no LMIA for your job offer before you come into Canada. PR straight process. You are coming into Canada through the RNIP pathway. Like, I think this is just good to be true. And the last one, the POF. This is great, guys. You're going to jump on this when you see what the POF requirement is. So for the POF, there is a caveat. Now, the caveat is whether you're coming into Canada, with your family or not, so long as you are going to be stating the number of family members that you have, you are required to provide proof of fund for all, like, your family inclusive. Whether they are coming with you now, later, they're not going to come at all, whatever, you are required to provide their proof of fund. You need to include your spouse or common law partner and all your children, like I say, your family. Even if they're not coming with you, or they are permanent residents, they are already in Canada, whatever. So long as you have a family, you need to provide proof of fund for them. But guys, let me shock you. Shocker! For a family of 4, proof of fund is $4,399, like 4,400 Canadian dollars. Can you believe that? Do you know the proof of fund for a family of 4 using the excess entry route? Oh my God. Guys, you don't, just tell me you're applying already. Like, just tell me that you are done. You are going through this route, because this is too good to be true. Like, so if you're single, of course, 2,367. Canadian dollars. I believe, like, of course, you have a job offer already, coming into Canada. So you're going to be getting paid. You should be able to sort your rent and also that's why the proof of fund, I believe, is not much. But this is good. Like, I should insert that clip. This is good. The clip I was talking about, comment. But God, this is nice. So that is about the proof of fund. So those are the requirements. It's community driven. You need your job, and I've listed, how the working hours, how you qualify for the particular role that you're going to be applying to, the tiering system, your ECA requirement, that's educational requirements. You need your language sorted as well. And then this is the POF you also require for the RNIP. Now, let's move swiftly to the steps of application for the RNIP. Number one, you need to check your eligibility, of course. Like I said, I'm going to be dropping the link to check your eligibility down below. You can drop your comments as well, your questions as well, and you can get a registered immigration consultant to look at this for you. I am not a registered immigration consultant in Canada, but you can actually get one to look at these criteria for you. But like I said, I am an advocate of DIY. You can do it yourself. The links are there. IRCC is there, so you can actually look into this by yourself, and you can drop your comments as well, your questions. But like I said, you can do it yourself. So check the eligibility requirement. And I also want you to note that each community also would have their own requirements as well. So you want to look at that. The link I'm going to be dropping, for the communities as well, has each community details in front of you. So you can see the ones that are still admitting or taking applications, the ones that are still open. You can see the jobs that they are looking for, the occupation in demand in those places, and you can put in your application, right? And even some of these links have the details of what the that community looks like, what is happening there, the happening things and all that. So you can just want to review it for yourself and all that bit. So I'm going to be putting that link in the description, but you want to note that aside the general requirements, each community might have their own requirements as well, which you will need to meet. Like I said, this is community driven, so you want to meet their requirements so that they can recommend you to the IRCC for your permanent residency. Then you need to find a job. Like I said, employers have to be in the participating community. So you can check a couple of communities, is it Brandon? Like Brandon now, they have some of the places you can check for jobs on their own link as well. So you can click on that to see the jobs that are available. I've seen a list of a couple of jobs. I think they have accountants and the likes. You can also go on job boards and Canada job banks. You can go on job boards like Indeed. You can check on LinkedIn. So long as you're in this participating community, you should be able to use the RNIP, and you can speak to the employer as well. So long as they didn't state on the job that they want someone that already has a settled status in Canada, then you can apply for those jobs. So you need to look out on those jobs to be sure that they are not saying it's for people that are in Canada or are permanent residents and all that bit. So it has to be jobs that they are willing to do this for. And there are some communities that are also willing to partner with you or with your employer to say, okay, even though we don't list you here or something, we can work with you for the RNIP, so long as it's an occupation in demand. So just go through that details. Like I said, some communities, as they've listed their participating employers employers in their own in their link. But for communities that have not, just look out for those jobs and check. You can even ask the question or drop in a cover letter or email the HR just to ask okay, does this job, can you use this particular route and all that. You have to put in the work for it to work for you. And with this short time frame as well, you need to get on this fast. I've said this before. Once you have your job offer, the very next thing you want to do is put in your application submit your application to the community in question. So you've applied, you've gotten your job offer, you've gotten your offer letter and all that. Put in the application, with the community. The community will definitely, check the validity of your offer to be sure that it meets their requirements. They might want to maybe, speak with you, check you out, just to make sure that you check out really. So once you put in your application with the community and the community have done their check, they are the ones that would then recommend you to IRCC. And if the community recommends you, then you go on to apply for your permanent residency. And like I said, while you're applying for your permanent residency, or while that is in play, you can get your work permit and resume already and get to work. So it's a win-win situation. Don't be deterred at all. Like, don't think that, I'm sure you've seen maybe a lot of programs that feel like they are not going to be hiring people of like higher qualification, or people in the white collar cadre. They feel like, okay, it might be for people with the blue collar cadre and all that stuff. But this is not one of those, because I've checked some of the jobs from those employers and they are like professional jobs. They need people like, are already like doing their professional courses, that have been practicing and all that. Like, you can really see that some of them are looking for management consultants, consulting roles, management roles, business administrators, accountants and the like. So they are not just looking for industrial painters or cooks and chefs and the like. So you can want to look at this. If this is something that is very suitable for you, my darling, British Columbia is there. So maybe you're looking, okay, I want to stay in British Columbia, or I want to stay in one of the those provinces, so to speak. Well, Ontario is there, British Columbia is there, Alberta is there, so Saskatchewan is there, Manitoba is there as well. So, and if this program does do well, probably they might extend it even after August as well. But you don't want to take chances, right? So just go ahead and put in your application. Go ahead and share this video as well. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, because I'm bringing, like I said, this is a series, so I'm going to be bringing you other pathways, how you can get opportunities that you might not know are staring at you in the face, and you might need to pay so much to get consultants to tell you these opportunities are available to you. So if you think like, I'm like, my age is no longer on my side and I want to come to Canada quickly and all that, go and look at those jobs. Like this one, you don't even have to come as a PR and you are stranded 3 months, you've not seen job. With this one, you are getting a job even before you arrive in the province of your choice, so long as they are in part of the participating communities. So why not, if not? Anyways, this is all I have for you in this video. Thank you so much for watching to this point. Thank you for liking already and subscribing to my channel. Let's grow this channel together. And until I see you in my next video, stay blessed. Bye.